My name is Harry Tyler. I'm owner and operator of Shorty Produkshins since 1985. I started out doing punk rock shows at a Legion Hall in Gainesville. I would work with bands like Bad Brain, Circle Jerks, and rent a small hall and clean up after the show was over. And 26 years later, it seems like I'm doing the same bands. I just don't have to clean up the hall anymore, thank God. And I love my business, love concert promoting, and that's my story.
Jim Mallonee, I'm with House Blues Entertainment. We put the House Blues here in Orlando, do a few other things, birthday, maybe one of the just give them a downtown concert series. We're over the town departments in like 9 different markets in the southeast, from Houston all the way to Charlotte. Just trying to keep a day job. Okay.
My name is Matt Galle, and I'm a booking agent for Paradigm Agency, and I also have a record label called Photo Finish Records.
My name is Coleen, Flynn, and I'm the talent buyer for Hard Rock International. We live Hard Rock Live here in Orlando. I also do artist relations. I acquire memorabilia, book filming sessions at the Hard Rock Hotel Orlando, and then basically whatever else they need me to do on a daily basis.
Hey everybody, my name is McRaney. I'm with Foundation Presents. I'm also one of the owners of the Beach and the Social. I'm the main principal talent buyer for both venues here, and got my start playing in a band, and I love what I do here. So good to see everybody here this afternoon. All right, so a lot of you were just telling me just briefly about how you got here, and I know that there's a lot of industry here as well. I just want to know, like, what were some of the key steps in your own personal development? Because we have, you started festivals, run a big group of live music venues, small venues, a record label, or you became an agent. What were the key things, and how did you get your start in the career that you've created for yourself today?
I started out, I grew up in Boston, Mass. I live in New York now. I started out going on tour with a lot of my friends' bands, and I grew up getting to know a lot of people around the country from touring with them and helping out my friends' bands. And when they started to get big, they didn't have anybody to book tours for them, and I had a lot of contacts from meeting people around the country, and I told them I'd help out, try to see what I could do, book them, and this is probably about 11 years ago, My Chemical Romance and Taking Back Sunday were my first 2 bands, and they both started doing really well. They believed in me and stuck with me, and as I grew and they grew, we kind of grew together. And at the same time, I was a concert promoter for a company called Mass Concerts, and I worked on a couple festivals. And basically, working for the concert promoter funded me to be able to experiment with booking agent stuff, and it kind of just took off from there. I moved to New York in 2003, and I've been there since.
I started at Florida State University. I was just a student at SEC concerts, and I started volunteering at an organization called Student Campus Entertainment, and I was just a freak about it. So I eventually became concert director, and then I worked for a venue called The Moon in Tallahassee, which is 1,500 cap, and they let me buy some shows. And then actually Jim hired me at House of Blues, and then I left and went to Hard Rock. And then I just keep asking for the things that I want to try, and they let me do them, so that's where I am today.
I started basically in a band, and I went primarily from promoting myself to promoting other people, sort of how I look at it. And then I would, my band would have a small draw, and then the promoter would ask me to jump on a bill to help support the headliner and the flyer we would promote. And it went from that to being a buyer or an assistant to a buyer, and then basically at that point, we had my business partner and I had the opportunity to buy the club next door, which is called the Social, but it was called the Sapphire Supper Club years ago, and we had the opportunity to partner with some people and do that, and we jumped at the opportunity. So that's basically what happened.
I started out almost pretty much just like I said. Started doing punk rock shows. A lot of trial and error. Didn't help in the early years. If there's a manual out there, I suggest go get it. Probably didn't even know what a production manager really was in the first 5-6 years of my company. I kind of thought that I had to do it all. So, through the years, I grew up through the ranks and was able to do larger shows and gain confidence and business and move into performing arts centers, arenas, and festival grounds.
With me, it started as I was a musician to start with, from the Buston Media Club, Hickory, North Carolina. Kind of strange, but that ended up, I figured I was better with my communication skills on my mouth than I was the drums. And when I was 27 years old, I decided to get that up and joined a small commercial company from Raleigh, North Carolina, called Shorty, and became president, part owner of that company. A couple of years later, that kind of drove me. Was there for 10 years with regional bands, and then it kind of brought me into booking national acts. In '92, I left there, spat my apartment, ended up at Song Entertainment in Virginia Beach, and that office at the time. And then in 1997, joined House of Blues, and I've been here 15 years in different forms, including House of Blues, concerts, Live Nation bars,
So as you can